Today I'm going to talk about how to transform sexual energy into a superconscious state. It took me a while to understand how to transform this energy because you need to practice meditation on a deep level, because as you go into deep levels of practice, there's this other knowledge that you get from you, within you, and also from nature. And for you to understand or tap into that, it's going to take some time. But today I'm going to talk about how to transform your sexual energy into something greater, or tap into higher energy levels. The first thing that you need to understand is sex or sexual energy is not bad, and this understanding of sexual energy is bad, or you need to block it, or you shouldn't perform any sexual activity, will not do anything good for you, because as human beings we are created through sex, through sexual energy. That's how we are created. So if you take our whole body and the way we are, the way we look, it's from sexual energy. So sexual energy and sex is a powerful energy that exists in the world, and this energy is very, very powerful, and it's pretty key for us to understand it. So thinking of the sexual energy as a bad component, or thinking in a negative manner, is no good for us. So first thing is take away the impression of sex being bad or sexual energy being bad. The first thing, we need to take that out. Second thing is how you actually transform the sex or sexual energy into higher energy levels. And this will take time, and this can be confusing, and it can be very, very confusing for a lot of people, and it was confusing for me too. So in order for you to transform the sexual energy into something of higher conscious state or super conscious state, you need to start to meditate. You need to meditate, and especially once you start to do chakras, energy points, focusing on root chakra, all the different chakras, there is an energy rise. And when you have this energy rise, you tap into higher energy states. And once you keep on practicing that, what will happen is there is a confusion that will happen to you, because you won't start meditating. If you start meditating at a younger age, when you are like 5, 6, then you won't have this confusion, because it's all clear for you, because you have never tapped into wrong energy states. And what I mean by wrong energy state is, like, if you have the sexual energy for mundane things, like if you masturbate for sexual pleasures and there's no importance for the sexual energy to emit out, which means that you're tapping into wrong energies at that point of your time. All right. And if you use for normal pleasures, and if you use this bad energy or bad thinking while you actually perform this masturbation, or perform this sex, or when the sexual energy is expended out, you are in a negative thinking process. You're tapping into wrong energies. All right. So that's why I say, if you tap into right energy at a younger state, like, when you are very young and you tap into higher energies all the time, then you might not lead into confusion. But if you tap into wrong energies from starting, and then you are now at 30 or 28 and you start to practice meditation, and you start to go in a different direction, there is a confusion because you tapped into wrong energies. Now you're tapping into right energies, and there's a confusion. And it's going to take some time for you to transform yourself from this wrong energy states into tapping into right energy states. And it can be really confusing. And in this modern society of porn and how they exhibit the sexual energy in a wrong pattern, it can kind of confuse you because you've been watching wrong energy displays from TV, internet, and when you practice meditation, it's showing you something different. It's showing you how valuable this sexual energy is and how you need to treat in an important manner. So both are showing in a different direction. It's going to take some time for you to understand, okay, I need to go in a direction where I need to transform the sexual energy into higher level states. And this information and this deeper understanding will evolve as you meditate. As you meditate, what will happen is you will actually tap this sexual energy into higher energy states. And how this will happen is in initial stages, right, you have this sexual tendency, you have this hormonal upraise which will happen, and as you perform this kundalini, what will happen is actually when you perform any sexual energy exhibition, what will happen is your imagination or your thinking process would not be anything about human flesh or human body in that sense. Maybe it's middle part of your body, or maybe it's downwards. Your imagination won't go towards those parts, because that's what we emphasize when you actually are performing sex or even imagining about sex. We think about certain part of the body to exhibit out our sexual energy. You know what I'm saying, right? Now what will happen as you perform meditation, especially kundalini, when you exhibit out this energy, you'll tap into higher energy state, which means that you'll be thinking about trees, you'll be thinking about sky, you'll be thinking about nature. This might sound crazy, but you'll tap into higher energy states. That's what I'm saying. And higher energy states is all about what you're surrounded with, the cosmic energy which is around you. That's higher energy state, and that's what you will tap into. This might sound crazy, but as you practice meditation, you'll see this will happen to you. And I don't know how to explain this. This is one of the craziest videos I'm doing, and I was also thinking whether should I do this video or not, but that's how you tap into energies of higher conscious state with your sexual energy. And sexual energy is really, really powerful, and don't think of it as a bad energy. You can transform this energy into a higher energy states. You can tap into higher energy states through this. Do your thing, do whatever you're doing, but practice meditation, practice chakras, focus on different energy points, and then there's a transformation that will happen. You will tap into a higher conscious energies while actually performing sex, or actually performing sex, exhibiting sex, masturbating. You'll tap into higher energy states. Yeah, this might sound crazy, but I don't know, man. That's how it is. It's crazy to figure that out for me too. And the transformation will not happen all of a sudden. It will take time. Maybe it took me certain years for me to tap into that higher energy states. it's pretty interesting that how it's happening. You know, you tap into cosmic energies while you actually exhibit the sexual energies itself. You won't actually imagine about any partner or opposite sex. Also, you'll actually imagining, or you'll tap into energies of higher cosmic energies that you're surrounded with. And it's tough for me to talk about this, but hopefully, this is important, man. This is important. This is too deep of a topic to understand, and some people will be thinking this is crazy, but that's how it is. That's how you transform your sexual energy into higher conscious state, or tapping into higher conscious state. It's similar to something like, per se, if you watch porn, right? If you watch porn, and the ideas and the energies that you're consuming from porn is something different. And when you actually perform sex, or when you actually perform masturbation, you exhibit the same energies that you have captured from the porn videos. And when you actually perform meditation, the energies that you tap into while performing meditation is the same energy that you're going to tap into while you actually perform sex. Now, for you to transcend into totally into a different state where you don't perform sex at all, you transform into, or transcend into, energy itself, that's on a higher state. But it's going to take time for you to reach to that state. What I'm saying is, on an initial level, as a human being, a normal human being, to transcend or transform into higher energy state, that's the transformation which is happening slowly, which means that even when you perform sex, you're tapping into higher conscious states, but through sex itself, and when you become like a person, not a person, but when you become like an energy state where you are nobody, like you are a zero, like, where you kind of transcend, that's when you don't need any sexual energy to actually tap into higher energy states. That's a whole different transformation. But what I'm saying is, at the beginning stages of meditation process, this is how you transform your sexual energy into a higher conscious state, or you tap into higher conscious state, or a super conscious state, where you actually are surrounded with cosmic energy while you actually exhibiting the sexual energy out. This is the toughest topic to make you understand. Hopefully you understood, like, what you consume, what you practice is the same thing that you exhibit out. So that's why when you perform meditation and do chakras, you tap into higher conscious energies through sexual energy. A lot of people might not agree with it, but practicing and experiencing is way different than just talking about it. So I'm talking on a basis of practice and experiencing it. Hopefully this video helps you. Thank you, and have a blessed day.